It's been a week since Jacob's parent-teacher conference where me and Pat got to meet Jacob's teacher, and we found out a little bit more as to why they haven't really extended his hours or things really haven't changed. Totally understandable and outside of our control. There was a staffing issue where one of the teachers, she got a better position, and so she left and they have to refill that position. And the main teacher, she injured herself, so she was kind of out, and so there's just subs, and so for consistency reasons they're just keeping him where he's at until they get staff that they need, so that he's not getting used to subs and then used to this new teacher. So that makes sense. That should only take 2 weeks maybe. So it's been a week, and today I drop him off and the office calls the classroom, and somebody, one of the aides, comes and picks Jacob up. And what has happened is when I go to pick him up, one of the aides is already there, so I haven't been able to call. Well, today the aide wasn't there, and I just sat there and I waited patiently. The office looked like they were busy doing their other things, but it got to be about 10, almost 15 minutes later, and so I was about to call, but then the teacher and Jacob come up and she's like, "Have you been waiting here?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You need to make sure that you call so that he gets picked up because of consistency issues, and he has a schedule and he needs to stick with that schedule." And she kind of chewed me out a little bit, making me feel like it was my fault that I ruined the whole schedule. And she threw in there, we can't even think about extending his hours until we can get a consistent week or so of good days where he's not acting out. And I'm thinking, gosh, that's a real blow, because this classroom is supposed to be specifically for children with behavioral issues. And we have dropped speech therapy for Jacob. We have dropped ABA therapy for Jacob because we were told that he was going to be in school full time throughout an entire full school day. And now the teacher's telling me that they're not even going to consider it until he meets this criteria. So I'm a little PO'd. A little bit. So I emailed them and I was like, okay, listen, we've given up a lot because we were told certain things, and now you're telling me that he has to be on his best behavior. And I was like, listen, if you want him to be on his best behavior, you need to get him in there mornings, because mornings are always his best. Around lunchtime is a little iffy because he's just eaten or he's refused to eat, and he's like kind of got that hangry thing going on. And then he gets tired. So afternoons really aren't the best for him behavioral wise. So I'm like, okay, if you really want what's best for Jacob, you're going to get him in the morning, and you're going to have it for a longer period of time, because an hour is really too short for school. It just is. It's not only inconvenient for me as a mom having to take him and pick him up, but it's inconvenient for Jacob, because it's like, okay, I'm getting into something, I'm interested in it, and boom, I have to leave and go back home. It's doing nothing for him as far as looking at his peers. It's really not what is best for Jacob. So I emailed the teacher and I was like, you have to do something, and it has to be sooner than later. You can't threaten me with, we can't even consider it. I even went so far as to put in the email, it's like, it sounds like he's being punished for his behavioral issues, which is disabled related. So there. I have to say, I have big regrets. My biggest regret with the whole IEP meeting, first of all, I was really scared about the IEP meeting, because in my heart I knew that Jacob was going to be in a different class. He was not going to go into a normal regular kindergarten. I just knew it. And so in my mind I had the idea of it not even being an option. And I thought, okay, he's going to go to this autistic school that they have close by. And so I was kind of mourning that thought of him being able to go to school and be like the regular kids. And so I was sad. And so during the IEP meeting, they're talking to me and they're telling me what it's going to look like with an 80% in class and 20% one-on-one. And I was like, okay, hold on. What school are you guys talking about? And they're like, oh, the kindergarten. And I was like, what? Like, I was so taken aback. I had no plan B. And so that's one of my biggest regrets, is not asking them about, okay, what's your plan B? Because obviously when they evaluated him, they got him on a really good day and they thought that he was totally 100% capable of integrating into the normal regular kindergarten system, which was a disaster. And it blew up in everyone's faces, not just ours, but it blew up in the school's face. And now it's like, okay, well, what do we do with this kid? And so it feels like they're just doing enough just to be able to meet the qualifications for the school and funding purposes. And it's unfortunate for Jacob because he's missing out on so much. It's not just about the academics, even though he is like far beyond kindergarten levels, which amazes me. It's more to do with the social interaction that he needs. That's one of his main issues, that and behavior issues. He will laugh at things that are totally inappropriate and he finds it hilarious. He finds most things hilarious. But socially, they're not acceptable. He totally embarrassed me the other day. Went grocery shopping and this heavyset guy had on overalls and Jacob points and he laughs and says, "Oh my, look at his big fat butt." I almost died. I wish I had little business cards that I could pass out to people explaining, sorry, my son has autism and he is socially unaware of acceptable boundaries. So yeah, my heart just broke that day. And because the older kids are in school, he doesn't get to see them and how they interact. So he follows the little kids, and the little kids are just enamored by him because he's like the big kid. And so they play off of each other. And socially, it's not really appropriate. Like, it's awkward. The things that he finds so funny and what we just don't accept. We do not say the word "but" in this house, and everyone in this house knows it. You will go in timeout every time you say it. But he finds it hilarious. So those are things that we are working on and trying to change, and we totally feel it's only going to change with him in school full time. I will keep you in touch. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll keep you informed next time. Bye.